Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Barakatham to you, hopefully elect. Just back with another quick hit video through the Spirit. Because pretty much you talk to Jake, a lot of Jake, which, a lot of Jake, man, they still believe that their roots go back to Africa, and as the scriptures talk about how, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, we're tearing down these strongholds, the many lies that we were all taught and believed at one point before we came into this truth, and when you wake up to this truth, you come to find out that, when you go through the history, all right, I'll start off with this real quick, just real quick, because again, our people, they still under this false way of thinking that Africa is the motherland, which it's not. All right, our origins, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, our roots don't go back to Africa. All right, now there's been different times in history where you'd have our forefathers pretty much mix and mingle themselves within the so-called Africans, all right, the Egyptians and whatnot, to blend in, because we all are for the most part, a dark race of people, but again, our origins, they don't go back to Africa, and Africa is not the motherland. So I'm gonna read this real quick. In Galatians chapter 4, verse 26, it says, but Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. So the real so-called motherland, all right, where our roots go back to, all right, it goes back to the land of Canaan, all right, which, the land of Canaan, which would be known as Israel, all right, Jerusalem, all right, that's our homeland. That's our so-called motherland, a true motherland. All right, and that's where our roots go back to. All right, now concerning the history pertaining to Africa and how we came over here to the Americas from cargo slave ships from the coast of Africa, right? Well, like the Apostle Gabar often says, man, in order to know the mystery, you got to know the history, So, like I said, man, when you dig into the history, and while we were brought over here to the Americas, mainly from the coast of Africa. Well, when you go to Matthew 24, verse 15, it says, when ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand. It says, then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. All right. Now, pretty much, because again, just trying to see if it's in the same chapter, but the scriptures go into how when you, because this was Yahushua warning the Israelites, pretty much when you see the siege of Jerusalem, what's known as the siege of Jerusalem, right? And when you see them setting up the trenches about thee, and when you see the armies coming in, when you see Jerusalem being compassed with armies, right? Real quick. In Luke chapter 21, verse 20, it says, and when ye shall see, that is pretty much the same account told from a different perspective, all right? So Luke 21:20 says, and when ye shall see Jerusalem, which Jerusalem is a people before it's a place, all right? It says, when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. So again, when that time came and when Jerusalem was about to be sieged, when Jake was about to be surrounded, all right, and when the armies came in, all right, and things of that nature, again, this is Yahushua warning the Israelites. When you see this, don't try to take up arms and fight. No, Yahushua told them to, verse 21, it says, then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter therein too. So you see, again, Yahushua told them basically when this was to take place, basically get the hell out of Dodge, all right, and flee to the mountains, all right. And which mountains would that pertain to? It would be mainly the northern and western parts of Africa, all right. But you didn't have Jake just settling just in those regions. You had a lot of Jakes fleeing as far west or east, as far as to different parts of India, and even to Asia, different parts of Asia. You had Jakes fleeing, that far out. But again, to the relevance of this topic, like I said, as far as Jake coming over here in cargo slave ships from, Africa, all right. Well, again, we were just over there because, again, during this time, Yahushua was warning the Israelites, again, about the abomination of desolation and being compassed with armies, right? When you see this, to flee to the basically go to Africa, And like I said, our people, our forefathers had a history of, mixing and mingling in with the so-called Africans, the real Africans, the Hamites, all right? Because, we are not the same people. That's another thing. Our people, you swear you're African. Well, listen, even the real Africans, they acknowledge that we're not the same people. Even this guy, Nelson Mandela, he acknowledged the fact that we're not the same people. All right. They're just another dark race of people. So we're not the same. We're not the same. And tells you that Exodus, I believe it's the 11th chapter, about how the Lord doeth put a difference between the Egyptians and the Israelites and the Egyptians, because we're not the same people. All right. But just to go back to Matthew 24 one more time. Matthew 24, verse 15 again. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand. It says, then let them which be in Judea flee unto the mountains. All right, and again, that's talking about different parts of Africa. And like I said, you had Jake fleeing as far out east, as far as to Asia, but like I said, just for the relevance of this topic, our origins don't begin in Africa. A lot of our people just fled over there to flee the Roman persecution, which is known as the siege of Jerusalem around 70 AD. All right. And Yahushua was warning them when these things when you see these things happening, get the hell out of Dodge and basically go to the different parts of Africa. And that's where, you get the history of our people being brought over here in cargo slave ships from the coast of Africa. So just a quick hit. Hopefully this is edifying. All praises to Yahweh Bashem Shai, the honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Yahweh Bashem Shai Brakatham to the hopefully elect. Lozul until next time. Shalom.